Hey, welcome to the YouGoin'Pro channel. I'm your very own Coach Larry. I am going to be talking about some extremely great things that people that are playing sports, baseball, football, basketball, and today's topic is how to get to the next level like a pro. Tip 2. I gave out tip 1. You might want to go back, check it out. This is tip 2. Well, Coach Laurie, why are you giving out these tips? Well, I got a very own You Going Pro, my book that I wrote, and people have been asking me questions about it. So I'm giving you some tips so you can go ahead and have an opportunity to get the new version of it coming out. With that, if you're going to be a pro, you have to think like a pro, act like a pro, pray like a pro, and look like a pro. But I'm going to give you some inside tips that I've got from talking to some of my very much colleagues, friends, guys that play in the MLB, guys that play in minor league, guys that play independent ball, coaches, scouts. I'm giving you something that you are getting firsthand. And with that, if you really want to know, stay tuned. Don't get off this channel. Now, there was someone by the name of the Man of Steel. They call him the Style Dog. Coach, why are you talking about this? Because it goes to what we're going to talk about, the tip. But you got to understand there's a story behind every tip. This guy was the swag of swag. Before there was swag, he was the swag. The man had number 24 from Chicago, Illinois, the place where I'm from. He spoke in third person most of the time. Hey, the guy was legit. Nowadays people don't like to talk about, having swag. He was swag before there was swag. He always spoke, like I said, in third person. This guy was a man of steel. Now, if you know anything about MLB and baseball, you should know who I'm talking about. The very own Rickey Henderson, the stolen base champ, the man that put the things on the paper in his words, and he did it, what he said he's going to do. So with that, he is in the Hall of Fame with several teams as well. But with that, I got another guy, and his name is Mr. Prime Time, the very own number 21, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. Before he became Coach Prime, he was Prime Time. He go in third person too because he spoke to himself and he spoke to reporters. He spoke to people like he was it. There was nothing better. I'm saying that because it builds the case where I want you guys to understand how to get to the next level like a pro. People says, well, these guys were flamboyant. No. Listen, I'm sharing these tips because it's in this book. It's in this book. And I've had podcast after podcast interviewing all these great people, and they're all saying the same thing. What's in my book? And primetime, Deion Sanders played baseball and football. He was setting the record straight on the field and off the field. With that, his confidence was at a 12. And from a 1 to 10, he was a 12. He knew what God-given gift that God given him to maximize that opportunity. When the time was called, he was ready to do his thing. The guy jumped on an airplane coming from a baseball game and then went to a football game. Now, come on now. Actually, and Rickey Henderson was still a base. He'll tell you he's getting ready to steal and dare you to throw the ball. As I stated, how to get to the next level like a pro. Tip 2. I got one more guy that you may not be aware of, but I'm going to share something with you because I'm a coach, but also I coach and I listen and learn from the great people. There's a guy from this little small town in Indiana. It's like a little small country town. And if you know anything about basketball back in the day, it wasn't that much going on back in Indiana. We're talking back in the 70s, late 70s, if I'm not mistaken. This guy was a Caucasian persuasion, a man of that wasn't a black guy, tall, lanky, didn't have any athletic ability. They say he wasn't athletic, but he can play some basketball. The guy can shoot the lights out of things. And this is the part that you guys don't know. Do your homework. He will point where he's going to shoot at and tell you it's going to count, and then tell you he's going to go over there and shoot it, and then have 5 seconds and then look at you. He tortured people with his confidence, like tortured people. Okay, let me get to the point. His name is very own Larry Bird. Larry Bird used to torch Dominique Wilkins. He used to torch. He didn't torch MJ, the very own Mr. 23, but he torched many guys. I know he torched a lot of guys, like Danny Ainge. It was his teammate. They used to love playing together, and the guy wasn't. They said he wasn't athletic, but there's one thing that he had, and all three of these guys, primetime Deion Sanders, Larry Bird, and Ricky Henderson, they all had three things in common. The one thing they had in common: how to get to the next level like a pro. Tip 2. Okay, coach, what are you talking about? But before I give you that information, if you like so much what we just talked about, I ask you to click that like button, hit that thumb, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you can be notified every time there's good content. And the word is this. They all had tip 2. Tip 2 is this: uncommon, unimaginable confidence. Uncommon, unimaginable confidence. But the one thing else besides they had in common besides the confidence was they had balance of grace. What do you mean by balance of grace, coach? I mean by this: when they were on the field, they were a different person. They were confident. Now, with that, they respected the umpires, and they respected their teammates and their coaches. So they had a level of humbleness. So with that, you got to have some humbleness. You can't go around and just be blabbing and grabbing it and not putting up anything. You got to be able to back up what you say. Because in my book, also, there's one more guy that talked the talk and walked the walk. And I'm sharing that because I'm pulling up my book, and I got the reversion coming out. Here it is right here. And guess what? It's called the Muhammad Ali. That's the tip. The Muhammad Ali confession. He said, I'm Muhammad Ali. I fight like a bee. Sting like a butterfly, fight like a bee. I'm Muhammad Ali. The guy made a rhyme. He rhymed. He was so good. That's what I'm talking about. Uncommon, unimaginable confidence, but with balance and grace. Now, you all know this. If you didn't know this, he was a very good giver. He gave a lot. A philanthropist. He gave to many communities all over the nation and the world before he passed away. He did that when he was boxing. Because at one time he was Cassius Clay. He turned over to Muhammad Ali, changed his religion, his beliefs, but it didn't change who he was. The man had uncommon, unimaginable confidence, but with balance of grace, of humility. This is Coach Lowry. I just gave you one of the most powerful tips. Tip 2, uncommon, unimaginable confidence. Now, there's levels of confidence, because if you want to get to that next level, you got to have that. That's tip 2. And it's all in my book, YouGoin'Pro. I got a new version coming out here very soon. So stay tuned. Every week we're giving out tips. This is Coach Lowry, very own, giving out nothing but wisdom and knowledge. Because here on our podcast, on our channel, we give and we help athletes develop proficiency in assisting their passion for the game they love. Hey, if you liked it again, hit that subscribe and like. I hope you enjoyed that tip. Listen to it over and over. You can do it, because guess what? I gave you 4 great examples of guys that have made it with great confidence at another level, but also remember, with confidence comes balance of grace with humility. Coach Lowry, I'm signing out. Take care. Bye-bye.